Hi everybody. Sorry, I'm laughing. Something that happened before now. Anyway, thanks for coming to my blog. Today, Gbenga Aborowa of 99.3 Nigeria Info, and I will be talking about Nigerians and the sense of entitlement they have. On my last blog, titled "Whose Cake Is It Anyway?" I was talking about my colleague's reaction the following day, the day after one of my boss's birthdays, and he had 3 cakes on his birthday and took them home. But unfortunately, they were sad. They were more actually angry. I won't say sad. They were angry. He took them home like, oh, why did he have to take the cakes home? We signed a card for him. Why did he share the cake in the office? That's the right thing to do. Really, it's the right thing to do, not the right thing to do. Who gets to judge? Who gets to decide? And why do people feel like they should get what's not even theirs at all?
I believe it's a cultural. First off, I have to thank you for having me.
No problem.
Yeah. I think it's a cultural issue. Lots of people get away with this sort of behavior because they probably it's just a lazy mindset. There are instances where you have a family member that is abroad, and just the fact, from the simple fact that he's abroad, you think you could always bug him and say, "Oh, send me money for this. I need to pay for this and that."
Or even aside, if he comes to visit or somebody comes to visit, they're expecting you should have brought something for me.
Yeah, I remember my time abroad when I come home from Nigeria to Nigeria for holidays. A lot of my friends don't even want to reach for their wallets when it's time to pay bills for whatever thing we did, and they just assume, oh, you came from abroad, you should have a lot of money and you should be able to take care of that. It's just wrong, and I see it as a case of low self-esteem and not appreciating one's self-worth. That's why you bring yourself so low, to think you're entitled to certain privileges that you don't really deserve. It happens at weddings all the time. You see people fighting over souvenirs.
This is true.
You didn't give us this. Even to the basic things like food. I mean, you hear that, oh, they took small chops. You've had the first course, second course. Did you even come there to celebrate the...
Honestly, this is so true. Weddings especially, because you wonder the way people fight for food and souvenirs. It's like, is this what you came for, or did you come to celebrate with the bride and groom?
Weddings in Nigeria has become a food thing. Like, it's
free food and free, should I say, souvenirs and things to stock up your house with. Because I remember one of my cousins was getting married, and I was distributing stuff. And these ladies, they had already planned how they were going to try to get more than one. Obviously, they got one from me, and then one of my other cousins too was distributing stuff as well. And she gave them, it's like, oh, they didn't have it. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't get? I gave you. So what do you mean by you didn't receive anything at all? So I'm glad you mentioned the low self-esteem point and not realizing your self-worth. But I think, yes, that comes from a certain aspect, so to say, but there's so many others who just feel it's okay.
Getting away with it, because you have family members that are well-to-do, or you have friends, and they think it's so insignificant in the general scheme of things. So, oh, you can have it, do this, do that. So they expect it. It almost becomes like a right. So they expect you to do this because you're better off, and I don't know.
So how can we? I mean, in different aspects, we need some sort of reorientation. But
exactly.
But how can we get over this? Or what are the steps to take? Because I remember when my colleagues were talking about what happened at work. I was just laughing. I'm like, seriously? I get serious.
You go to an eatery, you go to a bank, and when they greet you, it's not because the morning is good, because they want something back. And
they want you to make their morning good.
Saluting you and
when you're outside of the parking lot, opening your door, trying to close your door for you.
I understand things. I understand the economy, and things are not really too well in society. But I've been to countries where there's extreme poverty, and I've seen people keep their heads up high, and they even offer you food. They know you're a tourist, you're much better as far as Angkor Wat in Cambodia.
When and why can we get that?
Yeah, and they're poor. They they can barely get by, but they still have the kindness and they have a lot of self-respect and dignity for themselves. You don't see them begging
Yeah,
all of
dignity.
that. And then here you have people with regular jobs and they get payment at the end of the year. You don't force people to give you a tip or to give you something.
Exactly.
You earn it.
You earn it, just like respect. But then we're going to talk about that like another time. That's going to be a completely different topic altogether. But feel free to drop your comments and your own take. Yeah, your perception, your perspective on this, whatever it is. And yeah, we'll get back to you, or well, I will get back to you as soon as you drop your comments. And stay tuned. Be on the lookout for my next video. Bye, guys.